Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers, everyone come in please, inshallah ta'ala. You can grab chairs, I don't mind, but come and sit next to each other as is the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Okay, inshallah ta'ala, today's topic is called Is Life Just a Game? Is Life Just a Game? So inshallah ta'ala, for the purpose of today's talk, we're going to imagine that life is a game. And you've got to get to the end. But this game, there's no respawn. Once you're dead, you're dead. There's no second life. There's no second chances. Okay? And the game's hard. It's got loads of levels. Some levels, physical pain, mental pain, financial pain, emotional pain, spiritual pain. Okay? These levels are hard. But you have to make it through. You can't fail. You can't fall. You can't wipe out. If you lose, see the paradise of hellfire, and there is no retakes. So life, if it was a game, you wouldn't take it lightly. And you'd want to make sure when you go into the game, you go in well equipped. Now, me, back in the day, not anymore, but when I was very young, I used to play on the PS2. Do you remember PS2? Did any of you even know what PS2 is? There was once upon a time a thing called the PlayStation 2. And I used to play games on there. And I'm very bad at games. I was good at fighting games. But those, it was adventure games. I was not good at that stuff. So if I played one of them, I'd need a walkthrough. Do they still have walkthroughs nowadays? You don't know what a walkthrough is? What do they call it now? You don't know what a walkthrough is? Is that what it's called nowadays? Why do you all look so baffled? If you don't know what it is, it's basically, it was a book. We used to actually go and buy it from the game shop. You used to actually have to buy it. And it would be a walkthrough of the whole game. It would tell you all of the parts where you get stuck, do this, don't do this. There'll be cheats in there. And now they have it online, and now I think people go for it in videos. They tell you how to clock the game in an easy way. So me, I'd make sure if I got stuck, I'd make sure I have the walkthrough. And I'm going through it as I'm going through the game. And that's how I get to the end. Whether it be Spider-Man game or whatever, that's how you get through. So today, inshallah ta'ala, I'm going to give you the walkthrough. The walkthrough. I'm going to give you the cheat sheet. How to get through the game of life. With this, if you do these things that I'm going to share with you today, inshallah ta'ala, you're going to walk through the game of life easy peasy, lemon squeezy, inshallah. It's 4 things. Some of you might already know them. If so, listen again. فَذَكِّرْ إِنَّ ذِكْرَ تَنْفَعُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Remind them, Allah said, for verily the reminder, it benefits the believers. The first thing is that you have to have knowledge. If a person doesn't have knowledge of this deen, there's no hope for this person on the other side. There's no way you can get through. Even when you think about it, when you come into a game, what's the first thing it tells you? There's instructions, right? Do this, don't do this. There'll be some kind of knowledge that they give you. Because you can't expect someone to be thrown into the game and make his way to the end of the level. You can't. So, knowledge is needed. Knowledge of what? Primarily, you need to know about Allah. Specifically, what about Allah? The thing that you need to know is that you have to worship Him alone. And you have to know what worship is. And you have to also know what shirk is, which is not worshipping Allah alone, worshipping Him with partners. This is something that's needed. You can't get to paradise without it. The Prophet ﷺ said, because think about it, let's say you start the game of life and you die. You die. We said no second life, right? No respawn, right? So what happened to the one who didn't have knowledge? The Prophet ﷺ said, Man mat, whoever dies, and he has knowledge of La ilaha illallah, dakhal al-jannah, and he has knowledge of La ilaha illallah, he will go to paradise. O kama qala. Then the opposite is also true. Whoever dies, and he did not have knowledge of La ilaha illallah, he will not enter Jannah. She will not enter into Jannah. So knowledge is the first stage. And that's why you see our religion encouraged knowledge so much. Allah commanded you, فَعْلَمْ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. Allah commanded you, have knowledge of La ilaha illallah. And you know what's powerful about this ayah? Because some of you are going to say, oh, but I know. And I studied Usul al-Thalatha. And I studied Al-Qawaid al-Arba'a. And I studied Kitab al-Tawheed. And by the way, you can never say you studied it the first time. These books require going back to them several times before one can say, I understood the book. But even if you say, I know it, this ayah came down in Medina. And what's interesting here is that for the first 13 years, the Quran, its central focus was just La ilaha illallah. And the Prophet ﷺ is teaching his Sahaba just La ilaha illallah. And that which is connected to it. In Medina, it starts to get down into, the law of inheritance, marriage, talaq, business, and, halal food, haram food. It starts to get into all of those issues. In Medina, Allah is reminding the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, فَعْلَمْ, have knowledge, أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ, that there is no one worthy to be worshipped in truth except Allah. Did Allah say فَعْلَمُوا, or did He say فَعْلَمْ? If He said فَعْلَمُوا, it would have been Allah telling the Prophet and his companions, all of you, I'm telling you, have knowledge of La ilaha illallah. Allah said فَعْلَمْ, He's telling Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you have knowledge of La ilaha illallah. It's commanding him. Did the Prophet not already have knowledge of La ilaha illallah? Did he not already have knowledge of La ilaha illallah? Was there anyone that was more knowledgeable of La ilaha illallah than him? He said, I am the most who has knowledge of Allah compared to all of you. The Prophet said that himself. Inni a'lamu billah. He said, I am the one who has the most knowledge of Allah. But Allah is still telling him to have knowledge. Because this is something that's from the cradle to the grave, my brothers. Imam Ahmad rahimahullah ta'ala is a very old man. When he got very old, they saw him holding a tablet and a pen in his hand. And they said, Ila mata, ya Aba Abdillah. To when are you going to carry on holding this pen and paper? How long are you going to keep studying? Oh, son of Abdullah. He said, Min al-Mahdi ila al-Lahdi. He said, from the cradle to the grave. To the grave. To my last breath. I'm going to be seeking knowledge. Some of the Salaf on their deathbed, dying, breath in and out, coming in and out, and they hear someone mention a fa'idah, and they're writing it down. They say, what are you doing? You're dying. He said, I don't want to meet Allah without knowledge. I don't want to meet Allah without knowledge. So, study, seek knowledge, primarily of La ilaha illallah. And then what? La ilaha illallah necessitates. If you now know La ilaha illallah means that I can't worship anyone else in truth except for Allah, then now you learn how to worship Him. So you learn fiqh now. Tahara, salah, siyam, zakat, hajj. You study all these things. You're married, so you study kitab al-nikah. In case you get divorced, you study kitab talaq. Why do you study talaq? 60% of people get divorced. Why do you study talaq? Some brothers and sisters are married, they never wanted to divorce. But they are actually divorced in real life. They're divorced. Because the husband gave divorce to his wife and he didn't realize I gave a divorce. Do you think just saying talaqtuki is divorce? Just to say I give you talaq is divorce? No. What if you say to her, get out of my face, I never want to see you again, we're done? Divorce can happen. Not every time, but divorce can happen. They're married, they think they're married, but they're divorced. So you learn what's nikah, you learn what's talaq, you learn what's buyu', Islamic finances. You learn these things. Otherwise, you can't traverse the game of life. That's the first thing, knowledge. Number one. Number two, what's the second thing? Who could guess what the second thing is? Tell me. Umar, what's the second thing? No, I said I told you there's 4 things to help you get through the game of life. I'm giving you a cheat sheet. I'm giving you a walkthrough. I'm summarizing it all for you. The first thing is knowledge. What's the second thing, Umar? Why do you not know this? Because this has been told to you many times. Why do you not know this? Pay attention. Go on. Implementing the knowledge. Did it click in your mind now? Did it click? Where is this from? Pardon?
You get knowledge, you implement knowledge, you spread knowledge.
Lovely. Where is this from? Huh?
4 principles.
4?
3.
Good. Lovely. I love that. MashaAllah. So now, the second thing is to implement the knowledge. What benefit is there that you want to implement, that you have knowledge, but you never implemented it? Because what is the objective of knowledge? That you do something with it. That you produce something with it. That you do something with it. I want you to understand something. Implementing knowledge is of two types. Implementing knowledge is of two types. The first type of implementation is to actually acknowledge it, to have it in your heart. And that's the knowledge of Tawheed and the knowledge of Aqidah. To have it here, that Allah exists. To have it and acknowledge it and affirm it. The Day of Judgment is real. It's not enough to just have the knowledge, but you have to affirm it now, believe in it. And then the second type of implementation is the implementation of the body. So then the first implementation is implementing it in your heart. And the second implementation is implementing it in your body. And this is why Aisha radiallahu anha, she said that if Allah had sent down first the command and the prohibition to leave behind alcohol, the people would have not listened. Assalamu alaikum. The people would have not listened. Why? Why would they not have listened? Why would they not have listened? Because they're being asked to implement something with their body, but their heart has not implemented anything yet. That's why for 13 years Allah Azza wa Jal taught them about Allah, His names, His attributes, the Day of Judgment, the paradise, the hellfire. And all of this was being taught, which is stuff that you believe in the heart. The Day of Judgment, you believe in your heart. The grave, you believe in the heart. What happens in the grave? The angels, the shayateen, the jinn. These are things that you believe in your heart, you affirm and you acknowledge it. Based on acknowledging it, now it will lead you to implementing with your limbs. When you pray, why do you not have khushu'? Why do you not have khushu' in your salah? Why is it that we're thinking of things other than Allah Azza wa Jalla in our salah? It's because our hearts have not yet implemented Allah the way that they should have. You're supposed to pray as if Allah, as if you see Allah is watching you or you're watching Allah. That's how you're supposed to pray. Why is it that Hassan radiallahu anhu, the Prophet's grandson, when he would go to the wudu, his hands would start trembling and shaking, and they would ask him, why are your hands shaking? He would say, I'm about to stand before my Lord. Why is it that our hands don't shake when we go to the wudu? It's because our hearts have not yet fully acknowledged and affirmed that we're going to stand before Allah. Does that make sense? And that's important for parents. If there's any parents that are listening or that might listen online when the video goes up, or if any of you are going to become parents or are parents, you can't tell your child don't smoke weed. You can't tell your child don't do drugs, don't sleep around with girls don't sleep around with boys. You can't tell them these things. You can't tell them homosexuality is bad. You can't expect them to follow these things, which is implementing with the body, if you have not taught them to implement with their heart. You haven't taught them Allah's names. You haven't taught them His attributes. You haven't taught them paradise. You haven't taught them hellfire. You haven't taught them grave. You haven't taught them day of judgment. You haven't taught them these things. How could you expect for the implementation of the body to come if the implementation of the heart isn't there? Does that make sense? Question. If our hearts are struggling in really implementing the knowledge that they have, then what's the problem there? The knowledge is weak. Go back and study more. If you find, I'm in salah, but I'm not feeling the khushu' anymore, go back and study. Go to the class. Run to the dars. Learn more about your Lord. Learn more about Him. Because that knowledge is what will propel you to further acknowledge Him in front of you. You don't know Him enough, that's why. You don't know Him enough. So go back and learn about Him. If you find that you're weak in one, go back and strengthen the one before it. Knowledge before implementation. And I want to mention something to you, my brothers, on the concept of implementation. Some people, they study and then they start practicing. So they start implementing. And then what happens? Then they fall off deen. Then they start slipping up. He was strong for a few months and then he starts slipping up. She starts slipping up. Can I tell you something? The one who had knowledge and stopped implementing the knowledge, that person has to be very scared on the Day of Judgment. Because at least a person who didn't know, in some things can say, Allah, I never knew. And Allah will not hold you to account for what you didn't know. But if you came to know, you knew, and then you stopped implementing what you knew, you started going back to hanging out with the people that you were hanging with, you started doing the things that you were doing, you started slipping up, then you, my friend, are not a jahil. You don't have excuse of ignorance. You don't have an excuse. And this is the first person that is punished on the Day of Judgment. You know that, right? The scholar who had knowledge, but he didn't implement that knowledge. That's why the poet said, العالم بعلمه لم يعملا معذبا من قبل عبد وثن. That the scholar who had knowledge, but he didn't implement that knowledge, is going to be punished even before the ones who used to worship idols. Before the one who worshipped an elephant and a monkey. Before Quraysh are punished. The people who studied and then they stopped practicing and they fell off deen, they are the first who are going to be grabbed. They're the first who are going to be grabbed. So this is something to be very cautious of. Very cautious. Does that make sense? So that's the second thing, which is the implementation of knowledge. What's the third thing? What's the third thing? What's the third cheat? What's the third cheat? Who can tell me? The third cheat, who can tell me? What is it? A da'watu ilayh. That you spread the knowledge that you have. You spread it. You give da'wah, my brothers and my sisters. You spread it. You spread it far and you spread it wide. You spread it far and you spread it wide. And this is a wajib, an obligation that many people have forsaken. This is an obligatory thing that many have forsaken. People see, no, I don't have to do no da'wah. Just me and save myself. And this is a very evil concept. It's true, you don't have to be on stage giving lectures. It's true, you don't have to be out on the streets giving da'wah. But you have to give some form of da'wah. You have to. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, O you who believe, قُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَهْلِكُمْ نَارًا. Allah said, O you who believe, save yourself and save your family from the hellfire. And then Allah described the hellfire. Because He wants you to save yourself and your family from it. So you care about your family, huh? If you care about your mom, your dad, your sister, your daughter, your brother, your nephew, your niece, your auntie, your uncle, then Allah, look at how He described the hellfire. He said it's a place where it's fuel. The thing that fuels it is humans. The human beings themselves, they fuel the hellfire. It lives based on feasting on your family, your loved ones. That's how the hellfire stays alive. That's how it roasts. By taking your loved ones. By taking your sisters, your daughters, your mothers, your fathers, and you. That's how the hellfire stays alive. And then there's angels there. Allah describes them. They're rough and tough. They're shadeed. They're severe. They don't disobey any commands that Allah gives them. They don't disobey any commands that Allah gives them. So now a person's thinking, I have to save myself and my family from the hellfire. I have to save my family members from the fire. This place. وَقُودُهَا النَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَةُ. The human beings, bodies and flesh and bones and stones is what keep the hellfire burning. They fuel it. I want to make sure that my family are not fuel for hell. How do I do this? The scholars explained in their tafsir of the ayah when Allah said, قُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَهْلِكُمْ نَارًا. Save yourself and your family from the hellfire. They say, when Allah said save yourself, He means by educating them, teaching them ilm, teaching them knowledge, spreading the knowledge, giving da'wah to them. You sit down with your family and you teach them salah. These are the pillars of salah. These are the conditions of salah. These are the obligations of salah. These are the sunnah of salah. You teach them this. Teach your sisters. Teach your sisters what is hijab. Teach your sisters. You let your sisters walk out the house with makeup. You let them walk out the house. How do you walk out? Okay, what can you do now? Freedom of speech. You can't even tell her don't do it because she's going to call the feds on you. But it was your fault. You didn't educate her at the beginning. You didn't sit down with her and say, sister, let me teach you. You didn't want to take time out to educate your sister, your mother, your daughter. Too busy what? Doing your own thing. Even when you start practicing, you're selfish with that knowledge. You're selfish. Selfish human being. You have the guidance to paradise, but you want to keep it with yourself. I saved myself, that's it. Selfishness, wallahi. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. That a person will not truly believe, she will not be a true and complete believer until you love for your brother what you love for yourself, till you love for your sister what you love for yourself. Love what? Guidance for them, Islam for them, Iman for them. And then after you got your family, who's there? Your community. Your community. How do you see? Wallahi, can I tell you something, my brothers and my sisters? When I was your age and I was growing up, I'll tell you something from my jahiliyyah. I'll give you a story from my jahiliyyah. I must have been on the bus one time and, I had a kufi on, just like this. And I'm in the bus and I was sitting next to a woman. I was sitting next to a girl. This is in Jahiliyyah. I was sitting next to a girl, I'm talking to her. And one uncle, didn't even have a beard, clean shaven, didn't even look like he was practicing. He looked at me and he said to me in my language, he said, have some shame. He said, at least take the hat off. You're representing Islam. Take it off. When he said that, the guilt that entered my heart, I was making a mistake, I was doing wrong, I was free mixing. I just needed a reminder. It's true, I was still far in terms of my journey of coming to the deen. I was still far. But that was helping me, pushing me, nudging me towards my way. You better believe, any time I saw an uncle that was passing me by and I was with a girl, I'd stop. Or at least I wouldn't do it wearing a kufi. Now, the point is that I wasn't completely perfect, or I didn't completely take the lesson, but I was lessening the evil. That's because I knew in my mind that these uncles here, and these aunties here, and these practicing people will pull me to the side and say, bro, what are you doing? This is wrong. And that's why when I started to give da'wah, that's what I used to do. Sometimes, it's not always just having a conversation and saying, yo, akhi, fear Allah, what you did? Sometimes it's subtle. I remember I was in the Apple store in Kingston and I must have seen one sister in hijab. This is the first time I seen it. It was mad to me to see a woman in hijab and a guy, he's got his arms around her and he's resting his chin on her shoulder very inappropriately. Whether you're married or not, you don't do that stuff in public. And they're on one of the iMacs. So I thought to myself, I can't let this pass. I can't let this be. I have to say something. Just walked past, I just looked at the guy, I said, yo, Assalamu alaikum. How you doing, bro? You right? And then I kept it moving. And the moment I did that, they backed off each other. They understood. Sometimes ishara, just directing someone, is enough. based on that they understood. And that was enough for them. The point is that we stop doing that now. You see a woman, we see a woman walk past, we see a brother walk past, we don't even tell them. I remember when I came into Deen because there was a brother giving da'wah. I wouldn't be a man who's practicing, I wouldn't be a man who knows how to pray or pray if a brother didn't pull me out and say, bro, let me chat to you. Let me teach you about Salah, let me teach you about Allah. I wouldn't. So me, I'm thinking, I'm hungry for that. I understand what you're going through when you're not practicing. Like, you haven't seen that. Like, let me give you some. Let me try and share it with you. But now we've got to a stage where, wallahi, the evil's too much. The evil's too much. And it only became so much because we stopped forbidding evil. One of the benefits that we take, the shirk didn't come for about 1,000 years. Shirk didn't come for about 1,000 years. There was these 5 righteous men. When they died, then shaitan came with shirk. These men, they used to enjoin good and forbid evil. They were righteous. They used to do good. When they died, no one was there enjoining good, forbidding evil. So shaitan came in to show you that shaitan can't do anything as long as there are people saying, no, this is right, this is wrong. Inkarul munkar wa amru bil ma'ruf. To forbid the evil and to enjoin the good. And that's why the Prophet said, look what the Prophet said. He said, Man ra'a, pay attention. Man ra'a minkum munkaran falyughayyirhu biyadih. Anyone from amongst you, the Prophet said, he didn't say any scholar amongst you. He didn't say any sheikh amongst you. He didn't say any sinless person amongst you. Because you think to yourself, I have to be sinless if I'm going to advise someone else. No, the Prophet said, anyone. The man tufid al-umum, it benefits you. Generalization. The Prophet said, anyone from amongst you who sees evil, فَلْيُغَيِّرْهُ بِيَدِهِ. Let him change it with his hand. فَإِن لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ. But if he doesn't have the ability to change it with his hand, you can't. Your children have grown up, they talk back to you. Your sister don't respect you, your younger brother don't respect you. You can't just force them and take it out. So what do? فَبِلِسَانِهِ. Then with your tongue. Correct them with your tongue, with your speech. Say, this is wrong, this is wrong. Talk to them, give them advice. Speak to them in a nice, beautiful, lovely way. Advise them. And the Prophet said, if you don't have the ability to do that, if you cannot do that, if you don't know how to do that, if you're not able to do that, then what? فَبِقَلْبِ. Then the Prophet said, hate it in your heart. Hate it. Despise the evil in your heart. وَذَلِكَ أَضْعَفُ الْإِيمَانِ. And the Prophet said, that's the weakest form of iman. The Prophet didn't mention any iman past hating it in your heart. Question you have to ask yourself is, you see evil happening in front of you. Some of us, we see it happening in front of us and we don't even feel pain in our heart. Look at this stuff. We don't even, it's become normal. The Prophet didn't mention any iman after hating it in your heart. So if you don't even hate it in your heart, then what iman are we left with? Then what iman are we left with, ya ikhwatul kiram? My honorable brothers, what are we left with after that? There's nothing. And then by the way, just to mention, because I know some of you are going to get riled up thinking, oh my God, I've got to go back, I've got to talk to my family, I've got to give them advice, I've got to give them da'wah. Okay, hero, take it easy, bro. You're going to go back and do it after what? A decade, or maybe even a lifetime of having been absent from giving your family advice and reminders. Akhi, do it. As Allah Azza wa Jal said, how did He say? بِالْمَوْعِظَةِ الْحَسَنَةِ. Give them a reminder that's very beautiful. A very nice reminder. بِالْحِكْمَةِ. With wisdom. And even if it gets into a debate, because sometimes you need to debate people. It's a debate. They're not listening to you. Allah said, وَجَادِلْهُمْ بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. If you do it, debate them in the best way. بالحكمة, wisdom, use wisdom. موعظة, reminder. And if you do end up getting into a debate, a back and forth, make sure it is the best way, the kindest way, the most well-mannered way. Does that make sense? You want to go back and help your community, you want to help your family, bro, people look at you as a vulgar, sour, corrupted person. Some of them look at you and they say, Deen made my child, my son, my brother, my sister further away from me. I liked them better when they were not practicing. Some people say that. You know, Yusuf alayhi salam, He was in the prison. Inside prison, what do you have? You have criminals, rapists, murderers, drug dealers. The most evil people are in prison, right? The biggest criminals are in prison, right? Or is prison a place that you put what? The most righteous of mankind. Who goes to prison? And of course, there are those who are innocently there, but the point is that generally speaking, prison is a place for criminals, right? So the question is, Yusuf alayhi salam was placed in a prison. But was he a criminal? No. So inside the prison, there are two men that come to him. They come to Yusuf alayhi salam and they have a dream that they want to be interpreted. And they said, why are we coming to you? Because we see you to be from the muhsineen. We see you to be from the good doers. When Yusuf heard that they came to him because they wanted something from him, he said, yeah. He said, I'll interpret the dream for you. I'll interpret the dream for you, no problem. But he used it as an opportunity to give them da'wah. He said, أَأَرْبَابًا مُتَفَرِّقًا. He said, these many gods that you worship, these many idols that you worship, are they good? Or is it that it's just that there is one, Wahid al-Qahar, the one, the irresistible Allah? He says, rather you're worshipping things and you don't have the right to, you've done it بغير sultan, with no evidence, no did. And he taught them about Tawheed, and he taught them about La ilaha illallah. And then what did he do? He interpreted the dream. Oh my goodness, how many benefits are in these few verses? How many benefits are in these few verses? Number one of the best times to give da'wah to someone is when they need something from you. People ask you for something, no problem. When they ask you, they need, so they're willing to listen. So the time to advise someone is not necessarily in the middle of when you go to a younger brother and say, hey, fix up, you're always playing Fortnite. It's not when he's in the middle of the game. No, he's going to come to you and he's going to say, can I have some money? You got some money? I need to catch some money for the Oyster card. Have you got, this, that, I need to do X, Y, Z. Have you got money? I need to get some food. I'm going to get a pair of trainers. You say, yeah, absolutely. Before I give you the money, and I'm going to definitely give you the money, sit down, let me chat to you, bro. Oh, he's listening. He's going to get a pair of trainers at the end. He's listening. He's listening. So use the opportunity when someone asks you for help. Question, when would someone come and ask you for help? When would they ask you for help? This is the point about Yusuf. Why did they come to Yusuf? They said, we see you to be from the muhsineen. We see you to be from the good doers, O Yusuf. Yeah, Yusuf stood out in jail. In the jail filled with criminals, gangsters, thugs, murderers. Yusuf was the one guy. He was clear, this guy's righteous. This guy's not like the rest of us. He's special. He's special. So when they need something and when you need help, do you go and ask a guy that you can't trust? If you need help for something personal, are you going to go ask someone that you don't trust? Are you going to ask someone that doesn't look legit to you? No, you're going to ask someone that looks to be like, mashallah, bro. So then be that guy in your house. Your sister, your mum, your dad will come to you. They'll say, I need to speak to you, son. I need to speak to you, bro. I need help. But they can't trust you. That's why they don't come to you. When you're at work, everyone else is backbiting. And you backbite with them as well. Everyone else is free mixing. And you free mix as well. And you got a beard. It's supposed to be an act. You come to the masjid Jum'ah, look, salamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam, salam, salam. But you go back to work and what is it? You're just like the kuffar. You move just like the kuffar. So they're going to think he's one of us. But when they come to you and say, yo, can you help me get my, I'm a bit behind on my work, can you help me? You say, no problem, I'll help you. I want to chat to you about something though. I'll go for all this Jesus stuff. He's listening, because he knows he's going to get paid at the end. You're at uni, you're at school, you're at college, and you're just like the kuffar. You swear, you do this, you do that, you hang around with them, they're smoking cigarettes, you're sitting right there. Okay, you're not smoking, but you're with them. No, let them see you're not like that. Then they'll come to you. Can you give me some help, please? Can you help me? Can you revise? By the way, this doesn't apply to women, you brothers. That doesn't mean a woman. It does not mean you walk past a woman and she needs help and you say, yeah, sure. Because that's not, that's for the women. If If don't think to yourself that this woman needs you to guide her. If Allah wants to save her from the hellfire, He's Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. He's the most merciful. He will bring a woman to her that can help guide her, inshallah. Doesn't need to be you. Doesn't need to be you. Does that make sense? Doesn't need to be you. The point is, brothers, give da'wah. Give da'wah, carry yourself in a good way. And by the way, what is da'wah? What is da'wah? What is it? What is it? It's to the thing that you studied first, which was what? What is it? You lot are not listening to me. What is it? Tawheed, la ilaha illallah. Some people think, oh, because I went and I told her, sisters telling sisters or guys telling guys, hey, the Prophet used to, give charity. Oh, look, me, I done my da'wah. What them dying knowing that the Prophet was a man who was generous is going to get them to paradise? And they're still worshipping Jesus? Or they still don't believe in Allah? Don't beat around the bush. Da'wah is to tell people, La ilaha illallah. Not even to tell them Allah exists, because they already know He exists. Even the atheist knows Allah exists. It's to tell them, worship Him alone. Good, so that's the third thing. This is what you have to do to get through life, my brothers. The game of life, this is what you have to do. What's the fourth thing? Who can tell me? What's the fourth thing? Who can tell me? What's the fourth thing? Really? Patience. As-sabru ala al-adha fih. To be patient on the harm that's going to come. From what? Harm's going to come to you when you're trying to seek knowledge. Harm's going to come to you when you're trying to implement knowledge. And harm is going to come to you when you are trying to spread it. You're going to be outcasted. You're going to be criticized. They're going to lie about you. They're going to slander your name. But have sabr. So let's quickly go through these 3 stages. Sabr when it comes to seeking knowledge. Brothers, knowledge is not easy. The Prophet says, سَنُلْقِ عَلَيْكَ قَوْلًا ثَقِيلًا. Allah said, we're going to send upon you a heavy word. It was so heavy that when the Quran would come down on the Prophet ﷺ, he would feel pain. He would feel pain. His head would start ringing as if there was a bell smacking, ringing inside of his head. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was so heavy that Zayd ibn Thabit radiallahu anh, he had the Prophet's leg on top of him. And when the Quran was coming down on the Prophet, Zayd, he said, I thought that my leg was going to get crushed underneath the Prophet's leg because of the weight of the revelation. Allah said, had we sent this down upon a mountain, you would have seen the entire mountain crumble to dust out of the fear of Allah. The Quran is heavy. So when you want to study its knowledge, it's heavy. That's why Ibn al-Qayyim said in his Miftahu Dar al-Sa'ada, which is a kitab he has on the benefits and the virtues of knowledge. He mentioned in this book that you may not feel the physical pain of the revelation coming down on you, but because the revelation, the knowledge is heavy, when you seek it, you will go through pain. You'll have a portion of it. You'll have a difficulty there. You have difficulty, whether it be financial difficulty. Because what? Seeking knowledge requires you to have to take time out of work. A man came to Shafi'i, he said, teach me knowledge of hadith. And he said, I give you glad tidings of poverty. You want hadith? You want hadith? It means you have to give out some money, bro. Because it's hard. And you've got to spend money to seek knowledge. You've got to spend. You've got to give up your own money. Yahya ibn Ma'in, when his father died, he left him 1 million dinar. 1 million gold coins. He said, I spent every single coin seeking knowledge in the path of Allah, seeking this knowledge of hadith. People think, saving up some money, it's going to be hard for me to go and travel to seek knowledge. I have to spend money to get a book. Why are the books so expensive? Oh my God. Brothers, don't be so stupid. Wallahi, the guy making the book has to make a living. He has to make a living. He's binding the book, printing it for you. There's a reason why it costs £25. And why is it increasing the price? Because no one's buying it. People left knowledge. So he's not selling much. So go buy the book. Go spend some money in the book. You have to take time away from family, take time away from your own time. Seeking knowledge is hard. You have to be patient whilst doing it. Sabr, patience. Don't give up. Don't give up. Keep doing it. You'll make it at the end, inshallah ta'ala. See, and then you have to be patient when it comes to implementing knowledge. And this is the one where I told you, brothers, they start seeking knowledge, they learn, and they fall off deen. Sisters start falling off deen. And they never had patience. My brothers and sisters, have patience. Allah is not going to let you down. He will test you. Allah will bring the heat. The heat. You'll burn. Yeah, Allah will bring it to you to see if you're real or not. But then you'll have that cool breeze of paradise. Inshallah. Hold on. Like, have you ever pondered on the hadith when the Prophet ﷺ said, holding on to my religion will be like holding on to burning coal. Like, literally today, holding this deen is like holding charcoal. Like, imagine you went and you went to the barbecue and you picked up some coal and you just held it there. Like, ponder, like, wallahi, it's burning you, it's burning you, it's burning you. It's burning you, it's burning you, it's hurting you, but you can't drop it. You keep holding on. That's what this deen is. That's what this deen is. You keep holding on. Don't drop it. Don't drop it. It's hard. It's hard. You're trying to get married, but you're not getting married. It's hard. Don't worry. Don't give in. Don't do zina. It's hard. Trying to get a job, trying to make some halal money. Haram opportunities keep coming up. Don't worry. Keep holding on. Hold on. Hold on. Don't worry. Don't worry. You're going to make it. You're going to make it through. It's going to be okay, inshallah. Don't drop it. The Prophet promised you it's going to be okay because he told you if you come with this patience, he said you will meet me. Look what the Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He said you will meet me at the fountain outside Jannah. That's what the Prophet said. He said you'll meet me at the fountain. He'll give you water from his own hands. That heat, that burn that you felt. He said I'm going to cool you down. The Prophet's going to take his hands and he's going to give you water to drink. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. From the fountain of Al-Kawthar. It's going to be okay. But you can't stop. You can't stop. At the time of death, the angels are going to come down to you. The ones who said, Rabbuna Allah, our Lord is Allah. ثُمَّ اسْتَقَامُوا. Then they had consistency on it. They were patient on it. They were firm on it. The angels are going to come down. They're going to say, don't fear. You've got nothing to be scared of. Nothing. Nothing to be scared of. And you have nothing to be sad about. You're going to have every single thing that you were promised in Jannah. You're going to have Jannah. That's what you're going to have. A man came to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam and he said, قُلْ لِي فِي الْإِسْلَامِ قَوْلًا لَا أَسْأَلُ عَنْهُ أَحَدًا غَيْرَكَ. He said, Ya Rasulullah, I'm going to ask you to tell me something about that I need for Islam, something in Islam, an Islamic thing. Teach me something. And it has to be a thing that is going to be so relevant, so comprehensive, that I will not have to ask anyone after you. I don't need anyone to tell me anything after you tell me this one thing. This one thing is going to be enough and do me for the rest of my life. And the Prophet said, قُل. He said, say, La ilaha illallah thumma istaqim. Say La ilaha illallah and then be firm on it. Be steadfast on it. Be patient on it. Be patient on it. And finally, patience when it comes to giving da'wah. And I don't have to go into this and tell you too much because it's evident. Anyone who holds up and stands for the sunnah, who stands for La ilaha illallah, is going to be harmed. Allah said, I never sent a messenger except the people they criticized him. They accused him of being a magician or something. It always happened. Always happened. Your own families, you're going to see it amongst your friends, your community. You're going to see it, people, you love them, you care for them. Because you're coming with the hadith, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. None of you will truly believe to you love for your brother, you love for yourself. You're thinking, I love you. That's why I'm telling you this. And what? They're talking about you, insulting you, just backbiting you, slandering you, lying about you, ungrateful, throwing ingratitude into your face. But you're not doing it for them, you're doing it for Allah. So you carry on being patient. So these are the 4 things that get you through the game of life. Where have I taken these 4 things from? I took them from Surah Al-Asr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, I swear by time that mankind is in a state of loss. You're lost. And the losers, by the way, they end up in hellfire. And the people who win are who? The believers. They end up in Jannah. Inna lil-muttaqina mafaza. The ones who have taqwa, the believers, they're the ones who win. They make it to paradise. But the ones who lose, they don't make it to paradise. They go to hellfire. So Allah said that the default position where the human being starts off is a loss. But then Allah makes an exception of one group. It's not 4 groups, it's one group. One group that has 4 characteristics. Not 4 groups. It's not that you can pick and choose, oh, I'm going to be the one who has knowledge, I'm going to be the one who implements, I'm going to give da'wah, but I'm not going to seek knowledge. I'm going to be patient, but I'm not going to seek knowledge. No. One group that has all 4. And Allah describes إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. The ones who have iman, and iman can't come except without knowledge. The foundation of iman is knowledge. وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, they do righteous actions. وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ, they enjoin the truth, they spread the truth, they give da'wah to each other. وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ, and then they come together and they enjoin with each other upon patience. So everyone is a loser, and everyone is going to go to hell, except for the one group of people who do these 4 things. Brothers, sisters, have I not just given you the cheat to the game of life? These 4 things. Live life with these 4. Shafi'i rahimahullah ta'ala said, if this surah was the only thing, if this surah was the only thing that Allah Azza wa Jalla sent down in the Quran, if this is the only thing that Allah sent down, لَكَفَتْهُمْ, it would have been enough. The point and the message in terms of guidance and explaining what you need to do, not in terms of specifics, but in the general, over the overview, he said this surah, it captured everything. Seek knowledge, implement knowledge, give da'wah, be patient upon that. That's how you get to paradise. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. Any questions? After the salah, we'll just call it an end, inshallah. Yeah. Any questions? Yes. Can I ask, is there any specific topics that you would like for next week? Any topics you'd like for next week? If you have any suggestions, let me know today. It would be nice to hear what you guys would like. And then we can maybe go through it, inshallah. Yes?
What about the da'wah for those who already know? Like you've already told them, but...
Yeah, keep doing it. Keep doing it. The Prophet ﷺ had told people and he kept on telling them, and then 20 years later some of them accepted Islam. Doesn't happen overnight. Abu Sufyan fought against the Prophet ﷺ. He fought against him in 2 big battles, Uhud and Khandaq. Yet he became, after 21 years, he became a Muslim. So don't write anyone off. Yeah.
If you see someone doing wrong and you don't say nothing, is there a punishment or is there something against you now?
It could be. If there's no one else that's forbidding the evil, and you had the ability to do it, and no one else is forbidding the evil, you could be held accountable for that.
But let's just say you see one thing, and like this slide you're in right now.
Yeah.
You see one thing, but you didn't say anything.
Try your best, man, to tell the people, warn the people, advise the people.
But if you didn't,
If you can be accountable, yes.
would it be the same punishment that they get for not telling them?
Allahu A'lam. But you could be held accountable, yes. Not in every single situation, but you could be held accountable if there's no one else that's doing it.
So, what advice would you give to brothers and sisters who may come from a moderate, wealthy background that have a certain type of lifestyle, that when poverty hits them, how to attain patience? When seeking knowledge.
Wallahi, you know, I told the brothers who went to Goip with us, we went Goip last Sunday, and wallahi, I deep something very powerful. Basically, Goip is a thing where you're on these trees, and then you're jumping from one thing to another, and you're going on zip wires. It's very dangerous. Like, you could die. Brothers are getting stuck and they're slipping and whatnot. But then there's this massive, strong harness that connects you to the wire, which anytime you fall or you slip, it will catch you. So as I'm going through it, I'm thinking to myself, I'm moving really cocky for a guy who's like jumping from trees. And I'm not a monkey. We don't believe in evolution like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, why am I so brave? And I was like, because I trust the rope. Then I was like, whoa, is it more trustworthy than Allah? I was like, I'm trusting a rope right now more than in some situations when we trust Allah. Like when we hit poverty, Allah told you, don't worry, I'm going to take care of you. Allah said, وَمَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. Allah said, if you fear me, I'm going to find a way out for you. I will do that for you, don't worry. But you have to come with taqwa. So the same way the rope told me, look, I'll protect you, just don't let go of me. That's what they told you. They kept saying, what they kept saying? They kept saying, don't let go of the rope. They kept saying that, right? Don't let go. Wherever you just clip the rope onto wherever it is, don't be on the tree without the rope. So the rope tells me, hold on, and I won't let go of you. I say, Allah told me, fear me, come with taqwa, and I will find a way out for you. The issue is that people need to be, this is why we say it always comes back down to Tawheed. If a person, a family is struggling with trusting Allah when it comes to poverty, whether it comes to marriage or whether it comes to whatever, depression, whatever problem you're going through in life, it's because you're not trusting Allah enough. And why would you not trust Allah? If you don't know Him enough. One of His names, Al-Wakil, the one who, who takes care of your affairs. Learn this name, it will give you that. Is it salat time? Inshallah. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.
Yo,
What's going on, bro?
yeah, I got the thing.
What? How much is in there?
20 mil.
You being serious?
Yeah, hold that. It's yours now.
You guys are probably wondering how this dusty looking camera is worth 20 mil. Let me break it down for you. About 6 years ago, some brothers and sisters gave us about £600 in order for us to purchase this camera to make da'wah videos. 6 years later, alhamdulillah, we made well over 1,000 videos and we reached over 20 million plus views on YouTube alone without taking into account all the other social media platforms that we're on. So those people at the time when they gave that money, I don't think they had any idea that that £600 that they gave was gonna go towards a camera that would reach 20 million people who watch videos and they changed their lives after having watched them, who watched these videos and started praying, who watched these videos and accepted Islam. Can you imagine if they were sincere, the kind of reward that they're gonna get on the day of judgment, inshallah ta'ala? But now here's the issue. This camera is 6 years old. I mean, there's cracks in it, it's breaking, it's well past its sell by date. We're trying to take things up to the next level. In order to do that, we need a new camera. In fact, we need more than one. We need more equipment. We need to actually hire a bigger media team. But all of this stuff, it comes with expenses, it comes with costs. And over the next 6 years, inshallah ta'ala, we're looking to reach well over 20 million people. Now look, I'm gonna be direct with you. I'm about to ask you for some money to put towards the da'wah for the sake of Allah. But before I do that, I wanna tell you some figures, some statistics to show you the kind of reward that you might be looking at, inshallah, if you come with sincerity and the donation. Just take a look at the kind of numbers we have over the last 90 days. Over the last 90 days, we received over 1.4 million views on our YouTube channel alone. That's 466,000 views every 30 days. That's 15,555 views per day. That's right. You could be in your sleep, sleeping 6, 7, 8 hours a day, however much you sleep, and you're just earning a reward, inshallah ta'ala. Why? Because you gave a bit of money that went towards a very big project. Now, with that 15,000 odd views a day, if you average that out across 6 years, which is the lifespan of this camera, do you know how much reward that is, inshallah? That's 34,065,450 views. I don't know about you, but that kind of reward, I need that in my life. This is not the kind of opportunity that we should be passing up, especially if you've got sins. The Prophet ﷺ said that giving charity wipes away sins the way that water, it extinguishes fire. So look, say no more, inshallah ta'ala. I don't feel like I should have to convince you towards giving to a project like this anymore. If you want that kind of reward, you want the da'wah to spread, you want la ilaha illallah to spread across the internet, inshallah ta'ala, then you want to give at the link below to this project. Assalamu alaikum. Peace. Remember, 20 mil, yeah? And that's on YouTube alone.